Hi, Kevin Wright here again, and on this week's video we're going to be looking at light refurbs. How light does it have to be able to get a mortgage on it, and what is too much so that it isn't mortgageable? And this is a perplexing thing for a lot of investors. Hi, so refurbs. Pretty much every training course that you can go on is going to tell you that you should be buying a property that you could improve by doing a refurb and upgrading the condition of it. And nothing wrong with that, perfectly valid. But the question that puzzles investors is often, where does it become too big a refurb so that it isn't mortgageable? So now when I'm training, one of the phrases that I used continually is walk a mile in another man's shoes. It refers to the fact that you have to really get inside someone's head and under their skin to understand how they think and how they feel. So let's look at that from a mortgage lender's point of view. Here's the issue. When a valuer goes out to value a property, now, the important thing to bear in mind is it's just one person's opinion. So, it's whatever he or she thinks on the day. And whilst there's, valuers are going to think alike generally, there are degrees of tolerance where one may differ from another. So there's an element of pot luck to the result that you get. So the premise of a mortgage is that the property in question is ready to rent, or day one rentable. Put that another way, it's as it is in its current condition, it's acceptable to be rented and a tenant could move straight in. That might mean it needs a bit of a tidy up, but it's still rentable. Now the problem comes when, in that valuer's opinion, that there's too much work to be done for it to be day one rentable. And the thought process is for them, well, I wouldn't pay money to live in this. The other thing to bear in mind is that some confusion also exists because there's a different criteria if it's your own property, if it's your main residence. Lenders will be, and their valuers will be more tolerant if you're going to live it yourself. If you want to live in a mess, there's more tolerance. What they're less tolerant of is someone else paying you for the privilege of living in a mess. So the key to it is, could realistically someone rent it in the condition it is? There are borderline cases where you're not quite sure which side of the line it sits on. In some cases, the only way to know is to burn a valuation fee, to just get a valuation done and see what happens. And if it comes back that it's not currently mortgageable, well, then you're going to have to think of a different way to buy it, and that generally means either cash or bridging finance. If you're not sure that it could be rented out, then maybe you're going to have to pay for a valuation fee and see. If you're more sure that actually there's quite a bit wrong with this and it's unlikely to be considered ready to rent day one, then trying to get it on a mortgage is not really the answer. So hopefully that's cleared up that issue for you. And if you've liked this video, then and you're not subscribed yet, well, click this little button here, click like, and got any comments on this, leave them below and I'll pick them up and answer them. See you next week.